And hey guys, welcome to Junket Squared. On this episode, we're going to discuss the best airline partners to collect miles with. Stay tuned. So a lot of people ask me, which airlines are the best airlines to collect points or rewards with? You know, is it Air Canada? Is it United? Is it American Airlines, Lufthansa? You know, the list goes on. There's so many airlines out there. The thing is, there's no real right answer because your situation or your travel habits or your travel destination that you wish to go to in the future will all be different from person to person. What you have to measure out is which airlines you tend to take the most, and also which airlines are going to destinations that you tend to vacation to or wish to have rewards to get to. With me personally, I live in Canada, do a lot of travel to the States, South America, and with that, I take a lot of Air Canada flights. Air Canada flights connecting to the US. I'm going to the US first to go to South America. Copa Airlines when I'm down there. United Airlines a lot. I'm going to Chicago. I'm flying within the US. But for flights where I'm flying a little more to like maybe Washington or to the Carolinas, then I'm usually with American Airlines. I think almost 100% of the time I've never gone to Carolinas on any flight other than American Airlines. And within Canada, usually Air Canada or sometimes WestJet. Now with that information, I have to deduct which airline points I should be collecting. That's a lot of different airlines, and obviously spread out across all of those airlines together, it's not really going to be much benefit to me if I'm only collecting a small amount of miles in each category. So what you have to do is you gotta kind of pick one, but sort of. You pick one per group. Now, do your research. What airlines have done is they have partnered with each other and with groups so that they can collaborate on trips when using connection flights, use each other, and spend a little more cash, make a little more money that way by spending cash on each other. So, for example, Air Canada, United Airlines, Copa Airlines, three of the more common airlines that I take, are with Star Alliance. Star Alliance has a list of airline partners. I believe that they're the biggest airline partner group in the world, if I'm not mistaken. They have airlines such as Lufthansa, Turkish Airlines, and several others. I'm not going to go through the list, obviously. But with that, they've all partnered together. So when you book with any of those airlines, you're able to use your membership number from any airline that your membership for. So me personally, I'm a member of Air Canada. I'm also a member of United as well. I have a United Airlines number. But whenever I book my flights, whether they're with United or through Copa or any of my flights through Air Canada, I use my Air Canada number. So even when I fly with United Airlines, I get with Air Canada Aeroplan miles, which that'll be changing shortly. So I'll probably do a video on how to convert those miles over to the new Air Canada travel miles. But going on, I use my travel number with United Airlines. I get those miles or points for Air Canada. I use my travel number with Copa Airlines. I get those miles and points for Air Canada. I use my Air Canada membership for Air Canada trips. I get those miles and points plus my spent dollars for Air Canada. That's usually the one little trick with these companies is they usually have a range or a gauge to grade you up to the next level. If you get enough points, enough travel segments, enough miles, enough dollars, you then get to the next tiers, get more benefits, get more stuff out of it. So with that, so they don't get totally screwed over, if you are using a different partner to fly with, you'll get the miles for that partner, but you won't get the spent dollars, which usually will accumulate to push you over the edge. I'll explain that in another video as well. But you see, with that trick there, not even really a trick, but with that strategy there, you're able to still gain your points off of one carrier. So when I wish to take that trip now, I want to book my Air Canada points to then take my trip to, you know, somewhere sunny with the wife maybe, on the beach somewhere, because that's what she likes. So all airlines have this. So I know when I travel with American Airlines, they're part of One World. So I travel with American Airlines the most, so I collect American Airlines miles through that category. Whenever I travel with another partner, which I believe I had before, I think it was LATA, I believe. I think they're part of One World. I then got my points for American. I usually don't need to work with that when I travel with One World because most One World partners for me are further away. It's mostly just American Airlines I use with. I also have had a few dollars with WestJet at one point. I still do. I don't know if I said at one point. But recently, WestJet partnered up with Delta. And I already collect Delta points whenever I'm flying with Delta, which is still also rare, but a lot more to do with WestJet. Once that happened, I then stopped using my WestJet membership, which I haven't used in years, to book flights with them. Whenever I flew with WestJet, I would use my Delta number and collect points that way instead, as opposed to having those spread. If they're partnered up, push all of it to one side. Now, unfortunately, you're unable to move points from one to the other. So, with the example of WestJet signing with Delta, I was unable to take my dollars from WestJet, which they use dollars for their point acquisition, to Delta miles. So the dollars I have in WestJet are still on WestJet. They're not going anywhere. I don't think they've really expired because I've had those dollars there for years. They don't go nowhere. But now when I do fly with WestJet, I can collect my Delta points as well, so I can accumulate on that side as opposed to having that spread. So I love when these companies partner up. It makes life a lot easier. I collect a lot more points. I know there was a point last year where I was flying with United like crazy, but all my points went to Air Canada, so my Air Canada, I was able to bump it to the next level, and it's all gravy from there. So that's my tip there when it comes to collecting points across the board with the airlines. Don't try and spread it across everything you can. Try and group them as much as you can to each other. If you already have points in one, not the other, try and pick one that you prefer to gain more points in, ones that maybe have the better rewards for you. Personally, one of the things to do is pick one that you already have a credit card with. If you have a credit card for, let's say, United or for WestJet or what have you, you're already collecting points for that travel, for that airline, probably best to group it in with that airline because you're already collecting points outside of the travel you're taking already. I personally have an Airplane card, so I already push my points towards Air Canada. I know this is the opposite when it comes to rules when it comes to getting credit cards. I know with the US, credit cards, it's always best to get a card that gives you those credit card points to use on travel miles on any partner. That way you have a choice of which partner you want to go with. It's a great strategy, and I wholeheartedly agree with that, but that's only for credit cards. Also want to be able to make sure you get your points, which are automatically what you get when you make your travel anyways. So pick a partner that you use the most, go with that, and that's it. Alright, so this has been Jumping Squared. I'll see you guys later.